So I've had several conversations like that where I present the data to the person, and instead of acknowledging that that what they stated was wrong, they'll argue about their personal experience. So Dr. Smith, can you talk about this clip and talk about why it's so relevant to this conversation?
Well, I think part of it is because, here's the thing. Part of what we have, and I tell my students this, just because you have a thought doesn't mean that it should be worthy of our public consideration. That's grandmama wisdom. Everything you think don't need to be said.
Right.
And part of what we have gotten into with a social media world is that people can just think something and present it as if it is fact, even when they're presented with the data. And here's something that people will say. Here's a great example of somehow when you think your experience is the experience that should then extrapolate to a group of people at large. So she said she talked to a lot of people on her radio station. What's a lot? 10? 20? 100? Let's say if you talked to 1,000 on your radio show, which I doubt you did, you didn't even get to 1% of the total population. You're not at a significant sample to even extrapolate. But more importantly, when people tell you about their experiences, those experiences tell you more about them than it does about the people that they're trying to extrapolate on. So what's wrong with your radio station? Who's listening? What kind of music do you play? What's the conversation like? And what we have allowed people to do is to tell you about their anecdotal experiences. Anecdotes are great. I have several. But we should at least apply those anecdotal experiences over and against social science data. And what we find is people start to ignore social science data because somehow they think that Google is research. Let me help you again with this, because I think I have my former professor, Dr. Brown, here. And I want to be clear, because I'm his former student. He's my first African American Studies professor at the University of Houston. And the thing that I remember most was everything you think can be important, but it don't necessarily have to be true.